and Alaska Native-owned companies, and thus to better our Indian country for future generations to come. Derek Williams, Senior Program Manager for the Indigenous Programs at Amazon, is here to represent Amazon for the award. I know Derek, and I call him Amazon Derek, and he calls me Navajo Derek, and so that's really a joke between us. I'm very delighted for Amazon and Derek Williams to receive this award. Derek, are you here? Oh, up there. Amazon has done great work, and I encourage you to reach out to Derek Williams and see what they can do for you all. So, Derek Williams, welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for this incredible honor. It's really humbling to accept this award on behalf of a company like Amazon. First, I'd like to say thank you to the National Center for your partnership and your stewardship and everything you've provided us in helping us create a better impact for the country. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, team. Thank you, Derek. Great. So I don't have a lot to say about Amazon in particular. You all know who they are, but being here at Res for my first time, I heard a lot of things that resonated with the principles of Amazon that we preach, we all inculcate ourselves. And one of those is putting customers first. Another one's embracing innovation, technological change, and then developing solutions for a more sustainable future. I think that we all know that with success and scale comes a broad responsibility. And at Amazon, we've had some success and had a little bit of scale. So we have a broad responsibility to really impact our communities, our planet, and generations past, present, and emerging. And those generations need us to be better every single day. At Amazon, we're grateful to have your guys. You are not only your buy-in, your commitment, your trust, but we're happy to have you guys invite us here today. Our responsibility, it includes supporting economic development in Native American communities through our partnerships with tribal enterprises and the National Center. We know that we must begin each and every day with determination to make better, do better, and be better for our customers, our people, our partners, and the world at large. And we must end every day knowing that we can do even more tomorrow. And this is why this is a value that we share with the National Center. And I think everybody here believes the same. So as we continue to grow and evolve, we will use our scale to create positive change in the world. As a personal value, myself as a Morongo man, I believe that leaders create more than they consume, and they always leave things better than how they found them. And we are proud to work with Indian country. We're proud to work with all of you here today. And we are excited to help build together a brighter future for all of us, both Indigenous and other. I'm proud to be here. And on behalf of Amazon, I'm grateful for our partners at the National Center. And again, thank you for this incredible honor. This is great. Thank you.
Please welcome board member Marco Gray.
Good afternoon, everyone. Back in 2010, we established the Tribal Gaming Visionary Award. Why? Because the significant contributions and recognition of leadership demonstrated in the tribal gaming sector and efforts to advance opportunity for American Indian-owned businesses. If gaming's our industry, then our business should be involved in there. So this year's awardee is EBC Holdings LLC. It is the commercial gaming and hospitality entity of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. After 25 years of an increasingly successful tribal gaming operation, the leadership of the EBC took the opportunity to explore new markets, diversify its holdings, and make good on its strategic priority of economic sovereignty. EBC Holdings outperformed its performance targets by over 40% in its first year of operations. So lean in and listen to some more here, what they've done. And closed multiple deals set to launch in 2023 and 2025. Now, mind you, that they only started after being in gaming, and for 25 years, they started the holdings company in 2021. So if they, by 2025, EBC Holdings is poised to be the tribe's fourth largest revenue source. EBC Holdings outperformed its direct tribal distribution target by 40% in its first full year of operations. Those of us who know what that's, experienced that, it's just amazing. Now you can see why they are being awarded. The company established a gaming technology and venture capital fund to further diversify its holdings and closed 2 additional deals. Because of its strong performance and exceptional corporate governance, EBCI Holdings LLC successfully negotiated an increase in direct tribal distribution from 25% to 50% with state regulators and approved by tribal council. Let's welcome and give a hand for Corey Blankenship and Adele Mack, the Tribal Gaming Visionary Award.
Shio, sa ye ditsa, but wishes committee, Dr. Doma, a young Kalanga, ditsa like you, Galiele Gachagedo. On behalf of EBCI Holdings LLC, I'm honored to accept this year's Gaming Visionary Award. I extend our sincerest gratitude to the National Center for this recognition. For well over a decade, the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians has had conversations about the need to diversify to ensure continual funding that provides essential services to our tribal members. After building a highly successful tribal gaming operation, our leadership realized the need to protect and grow our revenue generating assets. And while diversification is key to a robust tribal economy, we also believe that we must play to our strengths. With a 25-year track record of successful tribal gaming operations and a stellar team of professionals and partners, the EBCI decided to go all in. EBCI Holdings LLC, the commercial gaming and hospitality entity of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, started in 2020 with the tribe's acquisition of Caesar Southern Indiana. It was our first economic venture in the commercial gaming space and has surpassed our forecasts and expectations as we continue to grow that line of business. EBCI Holdings has grown quickly, closing 2 additional commercial gaming deals in our first 18 months of operation, and incubating a gaming technology venture capital fund with a growing portfolio of businesses with diverse but complementary offerings. True to the vision set forth by tribal leadership, EBCI Holdings LLC is poised to become the 4th largest revenue stream to the tribal government by 2025. As I think about the opportunity that lies ahead of us, I'm honored to serve my tribe and my community as a member of the EBCI Holdings Board of Directors. The ancestral homelands of my people stretch across what is today 8 states, and it is my personal mission to see that the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians has an economic entity in each of those 8 states. Or down. So we thank you again for the recognition of EBCI Holdings LLC, our mission, our vision, and most importantly, all of the wonderful people who have made this entity a success. Ski, Oshka Hesti, Nigodu.
I'm honored to join you for this year's Reservation Economic Summit. Thank you to the National Center for American Indian Enterprise Development for bringing this event together. As the Secretary of Commerce, I want to acknowledge that the Commerce Department recognizes tribal sovereignty and the self-governing right of tribes to regulate business in their jurisdictions. And I'd like to highlight our entire department's commitment to working with and coordinating with tribal communities to ensure they have the resources they need for economic growth. I want you to know we take this very seriously. We've heard your concerns, and we're working to deepen this commitment. And I'm thrilled that we've brought Sean on to serve as the Director of the Office of Native American Business Development, part of my office here at the department. Sean and the office are elevating our work in Indian country and aligning our efforts with yours and President Biden's strong agenda for tribal nations. I'm also pleased to announce that we've awarded over $1.7 billion to more than 130 tribal entities through the Tribal Broadband Connectivity Program, which is expanding high-speed internet network deployment and digital skills training for tribes. Likewise, our Good Jobs Challenge is spending $500 million to make once-in-a-generation investments in high-quality, locally led workforce systems to dramatically transform America's communities with a focus on equity. One of our awardees is the Lakota Funds in South Dakota, which is receiving $5 million to create Building Jobs, Building Homes, a construction trades training program for residents of the 9 tribal reservations of South Dakota. It's going to help address a shortage of housing inventory while at the same time providing quality, demand-driven training for tribal members. The Commerce Department's commitment to tribal communities doesn't end there. As you'll hear during this summit, our bureaus are working on multiple fronts, including with other federal agencies, to connect tribes to funding for long-term sustainable economic development. Through all of these investments, we look forward to working with you, the tribes, industry, and across governments to make sure we are fostering economic growth and supporting entrepreneurship in tribal jurisdictions. Together, we will bring opportunity to our tribal communities and ensure that tribal businesses and workers are equipped for success. Thank you.
Please welcome Director of the United States Department of Energy, Office of Indian Energy Policy and Programs, Willia Johns.
Good afternoon, Yate, Do Yahe, Shay Wahila Johnson, Chef, Sheehan Nishlan, Do Kasha Bashichin, Kazatani Dashache, Altokia Ani Chanela. Greetings, relatives, tribal leaders, Native American businesses, entrepreneurs, everybody that worked to get here or supported you to get here. This has been a really fun event to participate in. And I really appreciate everybody that, the energy that it took to sponsor this time here this week. My name is Wahela Johns, and I'm Summitt Navajo from northeastern Arizona, a place called Luncheon. And my plans are Michigan, the Shlink, Dog, Shib, Shichin, Zethani, Dashache, Adokia, Ani, Dashanele. I'm from, I told you where I'm from. I currently serve as the Director of the Office of Indian Energy at Department of Energy. And it's been an honor to serve in this role and be with this administration that's supporting tribes to get to their energy sovereignty and to address some of the most pressing issues regarding climate change and climate resilience. So our office has invested $120 million over the past 10 years in 210 projects, clean energy, mostly clean energy projects throughout the country. We offer financial assistance, technical assistance to tribes. If you want to explore sort of your energy vision planning process, please let us know. We have a table of Department of Energy, Office of Indian Energy right here. Raise your hands. Team that is here. We also have a booth downstairs, and we're growing our team. And we're also looking to hire. So if you know of good Native American engineers, please come and talk to us. If you know of people that want to continue to learn and grow in the energy field, let us know and come to our table. Our goal is to get out $100 million by the calendar year. This is pretty significant for our office because in the past 10 years, like I said, we've invested over $100 million in clean energy projects. So this just demonstrates how much support this administration has been giving to Indian country and offices like the Office of Indian Energy. There's tons of funding opportunities, and I'm sure you've been hearing it from the federal government. It's historic, it's precedent, and we want to help. That's one goal is our office and many offices at Department of Energy want to help you plan your energy future. So please come talk to us. Another goal is supporting not only on the funding opportunities outside of DOE, but also taking advantage of, again, this historic moment in shaping the way this country is the direction of energy generation, energy transmission planning. All of this needs your input. We have been doing a number of tribal consultations, listening sessions, and want to make sure that you all are part of the solution. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that clean energy, it's cool. It's been really something that this administration is standing behind. But in Indian country, you all have been leading the way. For over 10 years in our office, we've seen tribes already ahead of tribal community development planning, thinking, many years from now, generations from now, and planning on climate resiliency, given with what's happening with forest fires, flooding. Many communities have been already putting the planning into projects and process, the development, the implementation, the deployment. All of that takes time, takes energy. And we just want to say that we're here to help you. So please, again, I can't emphasize more, but I want to highlight some projects we just heard from the Morongo Band of Mission Indians. They're leading the way. Mountain View, they did 1 megawatt solar battery storage. They're leading the way. And this is offsetting $172,000 annually of their energy costs. We have the native village of Igiagin that has a really remote community in Alaska. And they started this planning process 2 decades ago. They have a 35 kilowatt RigGen hydrokinetic power system that is powering their communities, but also it can survive the winter, and it can also coexist with salmon. So there are energy solutions that are that can support the sustainability of your community and power needs, but also be in line with the traditional values that we have as Indigenous peoples. My last comment, and I know I'm out of time, is we are in a historic moment. 100 years from now, future generations will look back and maybe judge us on how we respond to a clear and present danger of climate change. It's up to all of us to put in action, resources, that thought of 7th generation planning to help heal our Mother Earth, heal our climate. So that's my, I've been doing this work for many years. And again, I just can't emphasize that, this is a moment where we have to take on this opportunity, and we're here to partner with you all. And I think that's all I have. And we have tons of funding opportunities. Please talk to us. We have $50 million right now that's available to support clean energy projects. The deadline is soon. We also have this table that has a whole list of funding opportunities, and please come see us, and we can give you one of these flyers that go through all the funding opportunities. Thank you very much and have a good rest of Res.
I always say that I prefer to be called a protector, whether it be climate or the land or the water.
To fight not only for climate protection, but also fighting for our art of refuge, our animals.
It's what drives me. It makes me want to continue this path that I'm on.
Really excited to meet these other youth activists and get some action.
As an Indigenous person, I think it's deeper than that. It's not just that we believe in something, it's that we are protecting our way of life.
Please welcome to the stage Yvette Fielder and Juana Rose Chasing Hearts.
Hey, good to hear us. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Is this not an amazing Red 2023? We did 4,000 participants. You guys are still here. It's so awesome. So we are here with Juana, of course, and I have some questions for you. So question one. When we had our conversation here last year, a year ago, a lot has happened. And it doesn't seem like any more can happen, right? But since then, what else has been happening for Climate Chasing Horse?
Yeah, in the last year, a lot has happened, a lot of blessings, a lot of amazing opportunities, and I feel very humbled to come back here and be able to share this event with you. A lot has happened. I've been very lucky and blessed with many amazing awards that I never would have thought that I would even be a recipient of any award. I just, do what I do out of the love of my people and our culture and our ways of life. And I've been broadening my partnerships and my friend deals, and taking my advocacy more seriously in the fashion world, and really making sure that everything that I do, that I think of my people. I really make sure that my values are a big part of what I do in every single project that I do. And, I've just been very lucky. I am now the new global ambassador for Paul Mitchell, and they have been so amazing, so supportive. And with everything that I've done in the last year, there's always a charitable component, and a lot of money, a lot of the fundraising, a lot of the stuff that I do, those charitable components always goes back to the people and always goes back to the youth. So that's just what's been happening. Wow, it's been a lot.
Sorry. So, I mean, so earlier today, we screened your documentary. And I have to say, it's very impressive for anyone to even create and have a documentary, and to have it at the age of 20. It's only 20. So that's mind blowing. So I mean, this is so amazing. I can't stop. It's so awesome. Tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
Before I was even a model, I was really, really focused, and I still am very passionate about my advocacy work and, serving my people. And I was doing advocacy work in DC, and the North Face had brought out some other youth from different parts of the world. And we were all there to advocate for protection of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge back home. And I made amazing connections, friends through that experience in the North Face. And that's where I also met the director of our film. And, it was originally just an idea. Like, we were just like, hey, it'd be really cool to do like a little short film, even if it's like a 10-minute film about our advocacy work. And that's what we wanted it to be about, was just the advocacy. And then during filming, I was 17 when we started filming, COVID happened, paused it. And then during that time, my modeling career just kind of happened out of nowhere. It just took off, and we just wanted to continue that conversation of advocacy, of the climate, environmental work that I do, of the protecting our sacred lands, all of my advocacy, but also because of my modeling, I wanted to bring in the conversation of representation, and that's also a really big conversation that we've been talking about these last few years as we're seeing more and more representation, but it should have been a long time ago. So, it's a big topic, and kind of show my big first moments in the industry, like in the film, I got to show some of my Met Gala experience, my first Met Gala, so it was really cool, and it was beautiful.
So it sounds like all of those conversations that just led you on a wonderful path. A lot of great synergy.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling that. That's awesome. You're so amazing. So congratulations on being named 2023 Native American 40 Under 40 Award recipient. I know the award is still fresh, but what does it mean to you to be included in this exclusive group of young Native leaders?
I feel like as Native peoples, everyone kind of relates where it's hard to, really feel good about what you do. We're such humble people that it's hard to talk about ourselves, and it's hard to be proud of ourselves. And for me, I hold myself at a really high standard, and I try to make sure everything that I do it in a good way. And, like I said before, with all my awards, I never do this for the awards. I don't do it for the image. I do it for the love of it and the passion that I have. And so it just means the world. I am so beyond honored. I still will think about it, and, to be included in such a powerful group of leaders, of people that have been doing such incredible work in what they do, in the world and for their communities. It's so inspiring, and I feel so, inspired and just very honored and thankful to even be here and to be a part of this. It's amazing.
It was a lot of fun, and we survived the wind. And we're Native people, so we pressed on because we're strong and resilient.
Yep.
Let's talk about Indigenous fashion. So at Res 2022, it seemed like Indigenous fashion was a new topic. But now it's really exploded and grown. It's certainly become a mainstay here at Res. You've experienced this growth firsthand and really been at the center of it all. And what does this growth of industry mean to you? And where do you think it is going from here?
It's only going to go up, I feel like, because now not only is it just me, but every fashion season there is, I see more and more representation, and even more representation outside of the Native community. And I think it's so important that everyone in every space feels seen. And for me, I've been seen, and I feel so honored for that. I also just want to give opportunities to other Indigenous models, other aspiring Indigenous models, and people that just want to enter that space. It is a challenging space, and it can be harsh sometimes. I know for some people they'll enter it, and then later on they're like, oh, I don't think I can do this. It's a lot. And, you see the glitz and the glam of it, but it is very taxing. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of time and energy, and you have to make a lot of sacrifices. I've made so many sacrifices, and sometimes I think about it and I was like, is it worth it? But at the end of the day, you have to think that no matter how many sacrifices you make, it is worth it for the generations behind you. It's worth it for all the young kids seeing me, in magazines, on TV, wherever they see me, they see themselves, and I want that because I want to represent our people in a good way, and I want young people to see that you can make it, you can do it, it's possible, you just have to believe in yourself. And that, us as a people, we have so much beautiful art and fashion, and we're so creative, and I feel like a lot of our people don't get the opportunity to share that with the world. And I feel so lucky to be in a position where, I can wear my, indigenous fashion in like Paris and when I wear it, I get a lot of people think, wow, who is this? What is this? And I'm like, it's a native designer. And so, even big designers have, wow, I love what you're wearing. What is this? And I'm like, it's a native designer. Collab with them if you want. Trying to encourage that because there's so much cultural appropriation. Being in that space, it's a lot of reclaiming.
Absolutely, and there's a story in everything. Probably even in your dress and your earrings and the bow and the abalone, and it's just so beautiful. So thank you for being a role model to so many, and a lot of my people there, same designs out there. So thank you also for representing. Okay, let's see here. We have. You are a real inspiration to our community, even to people who have little interest in modeling or fashion. But they understand that what you're doing is trailblazing. What advice would you give to the people gathered this week who perhaps are trying to break into the field where there is little Native representation or in which they are otherwise represented?
On your space, have to think about your people and where you come from, and that's where I find my strength. Is when I look in the mirror, I used to, not like what I see. I used to just not want to look in the mirror. But now I can look in the mirror and see my ancestors staring right back at me, and I feel confident, I feel strong because I carry the features of my ancestors. I carry that blood and those. The DNA, it's embedded in us, that strength, that resilience. We have to go through so much for us to even be here. And just us owning our space in those spaces is an act of resiliency. That is an act of just our existence, being there, showing up is an act of resilience. And I think it's so important that young people feel that way, that they don't carry that shame, that our people have been carrying through generations because of assimilation, because of colonization. When you walk into those spaces, own it, because that's what they want. They want to see the authenticity. They want to see who we are, and we have to show them because no one else is going to show them, and they're just going to continue to assume and create those stereotypes and try to put us in those boxes. And that's why I'm so strict on if you want to work with me, you work with all of me. So. That's authenticity, that's being genuine, and I think it's so important that we continue to stay that way in every space we walk in, and to be proud of who we are and where we come from.
Love it. She's like, own it, girl. Yes. So we talk a lot at Res about goal setting and having a plan. And it's clear you wouldn't be where you are today without having goals and a plan to achieve them. How do you go about setting goals and making a plan?
Just making sure that you're clear in what you want. I think for some people, for me in the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't know, it's scary when in the very beginning and there's not, in your shoes in terms of, a Native woman with facial tattoos, in a space where they pick and pry at you and they tell you everything that's wrong with you, as your appearance. But, I just want to, feel like I belong in those spaces. And, I've had to do a lot of work to get to that place. But, now that I'm there, I just want to, share that with my people. When I go up, I bring my people with me. And that's what I want to continue to do. And that's why I'm so passionate about wearing Indigenous fashion, so passionate about, making sure that everything that I do goes back to my people, because I want to be able to bring everyone up with me. I want to be able to share the stories and experiences, not just my own, because, at the end of the day, we all can relate in different ways, but it is a shared experience. It really is. And I feel very lucky and very proud to be here. And when I go about my goals, I really just set them. I set that intention. I put that out in the universe. I talk about it. if you have a good team around you, a good support system, tell everybody and they will help you get there. You have to be vocal. You have to keep working and you have to stay focused. And that's the biggest part of it.
And that is goal setting. That is awesome. So when I work with small businesses, you're a small business owner. You are a model. You're an advocate. You have traveled the world already. And a lot of times when small business owners come to me and they tell me their plan, I say, who else have you talked to this about? You know, my family. And they've encouraged me. And I said, start writing it down. And it sounds like you've done all of those things. So that is exactly what we encourage our small business owners. And you are a small business owner in your own self too. You're not just, I said this, like a model and a fashion icon, but you're an activist who cares deeply about many causes. And some of the things that you're involved in, what are some of the things that you're involved in now? And also a second one is that we have you on the cover of the NC magazine, and I'm sure you all received this in your conference bag, so please take a look at it. So what are some of the other things that you're involved in that you can share with us?
I have been trying to really focus a lot of my time on making sure that the MMIW crisis is something that I continue to talk about and bring awareness to it. And so a lot of my modeling work that I do, like I said earlier, there's a charitable component. So in one of my jobs, I was able to get a big charitable component that went to a nonprofit that works directly in communities with women that are escaping domestic violence or, you know, just dealing with the hardship of being a Native woman and, you know, giving them the resources to heal, to get housing, to get food on their plates, to have a roof over their heads. It's so important. So that's a big thing. Another thing is still doing a lot of environmental work. I'm still very involved in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge protection. So, you know, stop willow, that's a really big thing that we all need to really focus on too. Continuing to bring awareness to the salmon crisis as well in Alaska. And also just right now, me and my mom started our own kind of, it's in the works, but we're trying to get this nonprofit of, it's called Native Youth Outdoors. And it really is just an organization that we want to start that we get more youth, the Native youth, outside snowboarding. We had snowboard instructors come up to teach snowboarding, give them the resources. We had sponsors, you know, just giving them that experience because the outdoor industry is also lacking in representation. It is, the outdoor industry can be hard to get into because it is expensive. The equipment is expensive. So giving young people the resources so they don't have to worry about stuff like that. Also, just continuing that work. Yeah, just all the youth work and everything.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. You want to wrap up?
Thank you guys for watching. We're going to go ahead and end now.
So much for your time today. And I know everybody wants to get a bunch of pictures of you. So why don't you go ahead and stand right there? And I'm going to go ahead and get no, we'll get one together. Somebody send me this picture. I just want. Thank you. So I know they want